As the days went by, Goku and Vados continued with their sessions. But it wasn't just about training. Something in their dynamic was beginning to change. Vados, who at first had seemed distant, began to observe Goku with more interest, not only as his disciple, but as someone who could inspire them. After a day of intense training, Goku and Vados sat down to rest under the shade of a tree on Bill's planet. The atmosphere was calm, and the sound of water flowing through a nearby stream filled the silence. Goku, with his usual enthusiasm, told Vados stories of his life, friends on Earth, about his family, and about the adventures he had lived. Goku laughing, finishing telling a story, I would say, and then when Vegeta and I trained in the time room, we broke the place. Kami-sama was furious, but it was worth it. We became much stronger. Fords, or laughing lightly, exclaimed, it's impressive to hear how you challenge every problem that comes your way. Goku, you seem different from any other mortal. I don't know, I think it's not that different from what you do. I mean, you're the strongest person I've ever met right now. I wondered, you have any dreams or things that you would like? Asking the question one day surprised Vados. As an angel, she had spent her existence serving the gods of destruction without ever stopping to think about personal desires. But Goku, with his simplicity and honesty, made her rethink many things. I don't usually think about that, Goku. My role is to serve and make sure that the universe maintains its order, but I must admit that your perspective is refreshing. You are so free. Well, that makes me happy, Vados. I wish you could experience that freedom. I also think that it is important, to be able to do things that you really enjoy. Vados noticed the sincerity in his words. There was something in Goku that didn't. He was not only inspiring, but also captivating. Despite his enormous power, he was a simple person with a vision of life that illuminated those around him. Without realizing it, Vados began to look at Goku in a different way, with an affection that he had not experienced before. The following days, Goku and Vados, they continued sharing more time together. Not only training, but talking and sharing experiences. The closeness between them became evident, and although Vados tried to maintain neutrality as an angel, he found it increasingly difficult to ignore what he felt. Finally, one night, Goku sat next to Vados while they watched the stars. He was silent for a moment before speaking. I've met a lot of strong people, but with you it's different. I don't know how to say it, but I feel like with you there's something special. I've looked at him surprised, and Ida exclaimed, Special? What do you mean? Goku: I don't know exactly, but I like spending time with you. You make me want to be better, not only to fight but in general. You make me see the world in a different way. Vados felt a slight warmth in his chest. He knew that what he was experiencing was not proper for an angel, and that in some way it went against the rules that she had followed throughout her existence. But at that moment she felt that none of that mattered. She responded with a soft smile, said, Goku, I must confess that you also make me feel something different. I have never met someone like you, and it is strange to say it, but I feel that this experience is unique. Both looked at each other in silence, their gazes held in the tranquility of the night without words. Both would begin to get closer until finally they would kiss. The light of the night illuminated the scene, however. That moment was interrupted by an overwhelming presence. Daishonin appeared before them with a serious expression in his eyes, expressing disapproval. The high priest, with a firm voice, exclaimed, Vados' son Goku, I have observed this situation for some time, and I cannot allow it to continue. Vados, surprised, but regaining composure, exclaimed, Father, you have been watching us. As father of Los Angeles and guardian of divine laws I must make sure that the rules are maintained. The relationship that is emerging between you challenges our order. I cannot allow something like this to develop unopposed. Goku, standing up respectfully, exclaimed the great priest, I understand that this may be strange, but if there is anything I can do to prove that I am worthy of your respect, I will do it. I want to go ahead with this, and I will not give up this shirt. And looking at Goku coldly, I would say, very well, son Goku, I expected nothing less from you. From this moment on, I will subject you to tests that will test your strength and your feelings. Only if you prove your worth I will allow this relationship continue. Father, myself, I trust that Goku will overcome each test. Do not underestimate him. Shernan looked at both of them with a touch of disappointment and disapproval, but also with a firm determination. With a movement of his hand, a powerful energy returned to Goku, announcing the first challenge. Goku, without backing down, accepted the challenge with a smile. Don't worry, Vados. I will prove that I am worthy of this challenge. No matter what the High Priest puts in my way, I will overcome it. Vados, despite his usual serenity, he felt something strange, a mixture of fear and hope. He knew that this was only the beginning, and that the relationship they both shared would be 555, tested like never before. The training camp was enveloped in a tense atmosphere as Daishin Khan, with his stern expression, watched Goku at his side. Vados stood firm, although he couldn't help but feel a slight concern about the tests his father had decided to impose on his student. Son Goku, the relationship you are trying to form with my daughter, Vados, challenges the balance that we have preserved for millions of years. As an angel, Vados has a clear role in the universe, but if you insist on moving forward, then you must prove that you are capable of facing any obstacle. It will not be easy, and I assure you that. I will show no mercy. I understand, Great Priest, and I accept it. No matter what is put in my way, I am ready. I want to prove that I am worthy to train and to be alongside Vados. Very well, then we will begin now. With another movement of his hand, Daishin opened a portal in space. From the portal emerged an imposing figure. Was the god of destruction of Universe 11, Belmont, with a calculating expression and his usual air of contempt. Belmont approached, observing Goku with disdain. It seems that we meet again, son. Goku, do you really think that you can face someone like me? It would not be the first time that I fight against a god of destruction. I love challenges. Daishin, and looking at both of them, he exclaimed, this will be your first test, son Goku. If you want to move forward, you will have to show that you have the necessary power to face Belmont. It will not be a fight to the death, but do not expect Belmont to show you compassion. Vados stood aside, watching silently. She knew Goku had faced similar challenges before, but this situation was different now. His life and feelings were at stake, and that gave Goku a deeper motivation. Vados, thinking to herself, said, Goku, I know you can do it, I trust. Without waiting any longer, Belm launched himself towards Goku, his destructive power emanating in every movement. Goku, wasting no time, raised his ki and entered his Super Saiyan blue form, preparing for combat. The first exchanges were fast and brutal, with both opponents demonstrating their skills and Belmod techniques. Laughing while attacking, exclaimed, is this all you have? Is not enough, our Goku? We are just getting started. Goku charged energy and launched a Kamehameha directly at Belmont, who blocked it with ease. However, Goku took advantage of the distraction and approached, quickly hitting him with a series of attacks that made the god of destruction retreat. Vados watched the fight closely. The way Goku moved and faced Belmont not only reflected his strength, but also the depth of his determination. No matter how many times Belmont pushed him to the limit, Goku got up, driven by something bigger than life. Simple will to win. Don't underestimate yourself. You are deadly. Let's see if you can withstand this. Belmont unleashed a burst of energy, creating a field of destruction that seemed to cover everything around him. Goku, seeing the attack, did not retreat. Instead, he raised his ki to the maximum, entering into the shock wave and facing the energy of the mod with his own strength. I will not give up. I do this for me, and also for Vados. The words resonated, even reaching Daishin, who watched the fight with a serious expression. Goku's will was unbreakable, and every step he took demonstrated his willingness to fight beyond his own limits. Finally, Goku managed to break Mod's energy by advancing towards him and launching a final blow that made him retreat. The god of destruction, surprised, stopped, and after a moment, smiled with respect. Not bad, son Goku. You are stronger than I thought, Great Priest. I think it was enough, right? I'm leaving. I think this mortal has something special. Belmont vanished, leaving Goku and Vados in front of Daisuke Shernan. Although exhausted, Goku remained standing, looking at the Grand Priest with determination. He has passed the first test. Son Goku, however, this is just the beginning. If you wish to prove that you are worthy of a relationship with my daughter, you will face even greater challenges. I don't care how many trials there are, great priest, I will give it my all. And I will not back down. Vados approached Goku with a proud expression on his face despite the trials. And to Shannon's disapproval, he felt that what they both shared was something more deeper than divine rules could dictate. Vados looking at Goku, I would say I'm proud of you. Goku, I knew you would overcome this test. Thanks Vados. I wouldn't have been able to do it without your support. I'm willing to face anything the great priest puts in my way because I want to be with you. Daishinkan. He looked at both of them, and although he maintained his firm posture, something in his gaze reflected a slight acceptance. He knew that this was only the beginning, but deep down he was beginning to understand the depth of the bond that united his daughter with that mortal. Even so, as he left the place, he would say, "This is only the beginning, son Goku. They're still awaiting you. Long road. If you want to be with my daughter, you better prepare for what's coming."